What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, competitive games from tabletop to video games. And today we have a very exciting episode because it's been a very long time that I was up to date for Yu-Gi-Oh! And with the new release of the Dark World Structure deck, I definitely want to go into one specific card, and it's none other than Ceruli. Now, Ceruli, the Guru of Dark World, is definitely a card to watch out for because it's pretty much the today's format replacement for Neo Space Aqua Dolphin. When Infernobles was abusing it, now we have to worry about this specific card. Now we're going to tell you exactly why you should worry about this card and also ways to definitely abuse this card. But first, friendly reminder to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel a lot and I do really appreciate it. So starting first, there's one key thing that you have to notice is that the card text was actually a little bit changed for the new structure deck, and it was kind of errata. So what it does is if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, spell summon this card to your opponent's field in defense position. Then the second part that was changed is if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dark World card, your opponent discards one card. Now this was actually when, which means I could still potentially miss timing, and yes, even mandatory when effects can potentially miss timing. Now I actually did a video about missing timing, so definitely watch that if you want a breakdown of that. But one thing that made this card even better by saying if is that there's other ways to actually abuse it, because yes, I know that some of you might be thinking like, oh, the most recent combo that people are doing is discarding Guru just so they could discard the silver, and then your opponent has to put two cards from their hand to the bottom of the deck. But that's one good way of hand looping, but also just him alone, it's very possible to start discarding cards from your opponent's hand. Now you could abuse him by special summoning him with either two of the new Dark World cards that we got from the structure deck. So we have this one that could spell summon him from the graveyard, and then we have this one which can actually spell summon him from the deck. But besides those, there's also other cards that are older that is not from the structure deck, but maybe I think they got reprint as well in the structure deck. But here are some that you might not know about that you could abuse with. So definitely we have Charge into the Dark World, which lets you spell summon level 4 or Dark World monster from your graveyard, then discard a fiend. So you can actually special summon him, and since it was special summoned by a Dark World card, your opponent will have to discard one card, which is quite good. And also, Charge can also be added with Snow, which is actually really good. But also, now you're thinking like, okay, if they use Silver's effect twice, and then after that, you decide to use Charge, then your opponent's turn, they're still going to have one card in hand. Well, that's where things change because there's also another card that you have to watch out for, and that is Gateway to the Dark World, which is a quick play spell card that targets one Dark World monster and spell summons it. Now, for that turn, you can't spell summon, but it's irrelevant because if you go and you search it with Snow, you just have to set it. Then, on your opponent's draw phase, you activate it, special summon, Guru, and your opponent has to discard a card. And let me tell you, off the back, there's not many cards that could be activated during the draw phase. So there's actually many ways to actually abuse this card, not just by discarding your own card so you could trigger like secondary effects, but you could actually start spamming this guy, just discarding your opponent's hand just by him alone. So this definitely is a big game changer, and you definitely have to watch out for this card. So if you have a chance to get rid of it as soon as possible, definitely do so because your opponent can definitely abuse this card. And that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. And if you want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review here on the channel, you can follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear channel.